The Melbourne Storm 48 defeat Manly 24. It was a brutal exhibition that first hour. They sort of put lipstick on a pig in the end, Manly, but it was brutal stuff from the Melbourne Storm.
Oh, it was. I was saying this last night. The worst thing for Manly was them getting beat, Melbourne getting beat by the Dragons.
Yep.
The week before, because they came out flying.
Yep.
Geez, they're good at controlling the ruck. Now, that's, people say, they wrestle too much, but the numbers they get in to slow the player down, it's remarkable. And a lot of other clubs try and do it, but they just can't.
Has there ever been a club in this century where it's the first you've heard of a player at that club? So, in other words, Moses Leo.
Gotcha.
Moses Leo.
Grant Anderson.
Will Warbrick.
Yep.
Has a club produced more players unheard of, unheralded than this team?
That's a great question, and I would say no.
No.
I would say no. It's pretty obvious how they do it, the money ball situation.
Yeah.
They put all their money into their circuit breakers, as we like to call them. No more that other word.
No S word.
The Pappenhausens, it's only one Pappen. That's another thing I really grates on me, and I just said it. And they put the S on it.
Oh,
There's only one Pappenhausen.
The likes of the
Why do we
Pappenhausens.
say Pappenhausens?
Yeah.
Why do we say Hugheses?
You know the Munsters, the Pappenhausens.
I just fell into that. I feel bad.
Yeah.
And then they just get the players around to complement them.
Yep,
and it's just it's a great system, and it just never fails.
We hadn't heard of Pap. We hadn't heard of Munster. We hadn't heard of Cameron Smith. We hadn't heard of Billy Slater.
But they were good juniors coming through.
I get all that,
through.
but we hadn't.
Like a Tui, for example.
Yeah.
Tui
Kamitha.
They've just moulded him.
Yep.
I would have imagined when they got him first, he's from Fiji, obviously, so they had to sort of train him up, not only in the game, but just diet and, work ethic and the little things, the little nuances in the game. And even he's doing it so well.
Will Warbrick.
Yeah.
Saw Falongo. It just never ends with this club, and they've done it for so long. Manly had a chance to prove they were on the same level as the Storm, and thank God Storm didn't get to 50 because I reckon there was that many phones out ready to go, you can't win the comp if you concede 50. That stat was about to come out.
That's going.
That's got to go.
Oh, gosh, I just read a text I shouldn't have.
What? Oh.
Who was this?
No. Abort. Shut it down.
860 just sent us a text about White Lotus.
Abort. Have they spoiled it?
No, I think he's Gene up. I think he's Gene up.
Okay, all right. No spoiler alerts, please. Anyway, Craig Bellamy on the offensive blitz from the men in purple.
Manly have been, in their home games, have been starting hard and they've been starting fast, and they've had built up a couple of really good leads, and so, one of our mentalities was, to try and restrict that, and we didn't really go into a defensive mode. We just thought, well, hey, we'll try and do the same, start hard and start fast, and see what happens from there. So, like I say, we sort of stuck to that. We completed really well in the first half, not so much the second half, which was a bit disappointing. But like I say, we sort of reduced the effectiveness of their start, and that really helped us, for the rest of the first half, and then for probably 20 minutes the second half.
Alrighty, there is a great man. Just think about this. We are in a rare, I think it's the greatest situation we've ever been in for coaches, Brian. If you're a club who doesn't have one of these coaches, how are you possibly going to win it? How do you go through Wayne Bennett, Madge Maguire, Ivan Cleary, Craig Bellamy? How do you win past all those four at a minimum? Then you've got guys like Robinson and Hasler and Ricky Stewart. And how do you possibly win through those four?
Well, you got to get there. Well, what you've just shown then, or what you've just said then, they've been around a long time. A long time.
Well, that's the assignment for Ciraldo, right? So if he wins this year, it's never been more earned. It is.
Who? Melbourne?
No, if Ciraldo can get the doggies home against Bellamy, against Bennett, against Cleary and co, he is a Madge. He's a freak.
Okay. Yes. But I don't think Penrith, they're not as near as strong as they have been.
No.
I don't think Melbourne are as strong as they have been.
The Doggies 20 defeat the Newcastle Knights 0, which means, Brian, they charge into the Marcus bye. They freshen up, and then they launch out on Good Friday.
Oh, yeah.
60,000 plus.
Oh, yes.
We think against the Bunnies. That is Herculean.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So this is the first time since 93, did we say?
That's right.
They've won 5 in a row.
Yep.
They're looking very good, very, very composed. Obviously, the defence was the highlight.
Last night, no
them.
Tupanua, no Burton, no Kickow.
And
good to have Carraz back.
It's just they all just know their job, and their kick chase, their marker. Like when they get to marker, especially down the other end of the field, their markers work so hard.
Yeah,
they're getting out and chopping the legs of players. Just on that, I heard Sats and Paddy Walsh talking about the legs tackle, and I got to agree on. They're talking about, hey, there's no reward if they want to, and I think this is something that we need to look at. They're talking about lowering, don't go anywhere near the head.
Yep.
But if you make a classic legs tackle and they're trying to get up, the referee should allow them extra time. Don't you feel? Because you're doing the right thing.
Yep.
If you can't hit them up high and they want to get the wrestling out of it, well, what's the reward for tackling low? Because at the moment, you go low and it's one-on-one, they're going to get a quick play of the ball.
That's right.
And then the set is gone.
Yep.
You only need one quick play of the ball, and the momentum of the game now is you're going to it's going to just, as you say, the rolling boulder.
Yes. So right now what you're saying is that you've got them around the legs, which most occasions their head's way in front of you anyway.
And
so you're behind the play, right? So you're disadvantaged. So they're saying it's not a dominant tackle.
Correct.
So therefore you've got to release. So you're completely out of the play.
You're out and you're gone.
Yeah.
And then if one of your teammates come and put hands on it, they say it's a flop.
Yep.
If they want to get the height of the tackle down from the head region and neck region, which is what we're trying to do, reward blokes who can tackle around the legs. Sean Garlick was the king of tackling around the legs.
Let me ask you this, Fletch. So Sats was talking about this, and I'm a back, Brian, so we only ever tackle by ourselves anyway. But you forwards need 3 or 4 at a time. That's fine if that's what you need. But Sats was suggesting maybe limit it to 2 in a tackle. But would that be too hard to do?
Yeah, I think that's going to be too hard to judge.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they do it, because the attacking player is kicking and he's trying to get up quick.
Yep.
And you're not going to get up and marking because he's up there already, the attacking player. But the referee just doesn't say. I'm just trying to think. If you do a great legs tackle, are you allowed to hold on for another couple of seconds? Or the referees just go move straight away?
Yep. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Not dominant.
But, okay, we'll talk about the crackdown shortly. Let's finish off on the Bulldogs here. Sex on legs. Toby Sexton, he had some Matty Burton-esque bombs. So the kicking game's flying. You've got Sex on legs and you've got Burton. They're flying. Kiraz back on the wing. He's just a ripper. He set up that try for Joshy Curran. Penalties are costing the Knights. Phoenix Crossland with a trip on Toby Sexton. And injuries hurting the Knights as well. Jacob Safidi tore his calf. James Schiller was involved in a head clash. Jack Hetherington suffered a shoulder injury, and Jack Cogger dislocated his finger. Now, back on Jacob Safidi, I didn't see the start of this match. Did he was he carrying a big concern into the game?
Not sure.
Did you hear about that? So one of the listeners can enlighten us. I understand that pretty much before kickoff was almost done. And then straight away, they had to burn in and change straight away. But I need clarification there, folks.
Calf injury while running out to start the game. He warmed up, he was fine, and he usually gives one little blast of energy before he does a kickoff carry.
Oh, so he ran out like Dale Finucane-esque.
Yeah.
Running out and tore his calf.
Speaking of that, Adam Reynolds, do we reckon he did that kicking the ball into the crowd? So he does the chip and chase.
Yeah, and he's fine.
And then he boots the ball to
but then kicks the goal.
No, but he kicks it quite softly, the goal.
Oh, you reckon it was okay.
So therefore, the clues might say, there was a bit of an issue.
No more celebrating.
No.
So Flano's saying to Tuapolotu?
Christian Tuapolotu.
Christian Tuapolotu.
Yep.
He's not allowed doing that. Well, maybe Madge is saying he can't kick anymore.
He scored on the weekend, Christian. He did some big jumping in lieu of the Blue Wealth Property, Australia's leading property research and investment education company. Eels, they got there. Eels 23 defeat the Dragons 22. Highlight of this match, Brian, was the Dragons fans doing the Gutherino.
Oh, yes. And the old fella.
He was off the
He
bit.
was filthy, wasn't he? And did you notice when he sat back down, down to a lady, and the lady was off him, heavy. Like when he sat down, he must have accidentally elbowed her, and she just turned on him as well. So the big fella, I hope we should have had footage after the game when they won.
Exactly. That's what we
I
needed.
would have liked him just doing that.
100%. Well, mate, I don't know if his partner or wife or just a mate he was there with, but she almost did a hip drop on him to stop him from getting up.
How would you handle that? What would Dale Carnegie do in the book of How to Win Friends and Influence People? How do you handle that? Do you just give him a beer? Like, how do you diffuse a situation?
Who are you talking
Gibbo,
about?
I'm coming straight to you.
Yep.
How would you diffuse the situation when you're a Parramatta fan?
Yep.
And you're sitting up there and the Dragon supporters are doing the Gutherino in your face?
Nothing. You just smile and wave. You get up and have a laugh with them. Or you go, what happened on Friday night at a core stadium? Bunny on bunny.
Yeah, that was heckos. Did you see that?
No.
Big stink.
Oh, you have to laugh at it, though. Like that's. But I feel for his wife, who the bloke's obviously pretty tricky, 10 out, and she was... she would have no hope if he was running straight at her.
No, I just thought he handled it badly. He handled it poorly.
The old bloke?
Yeah, there's no need to get up there and get aggressive. Give him a beer, make him scull it.
Well, he's a Parramatta fan who hasn't won a competition since, 86?
Hasn't won a game
Hasn't won a game all year.
Until then. He had the last laugh, though.
He did. It was good.
The narrative was perfect. Gutho got 2, had a blinder, and then Lomax kicks the winning goal. He's playing great football, and he's back on the wing. Penasini got pushed to the right, Brian.
Yeah.
So
Dylan Walker was the difference.
Dylan Walker was great.
Dylan Walker was the difference. I thought it released the other Dylan.
Yep.
Dylan Brown, who ran. Yeah, that was his best game for the year.
What about Yongi?
Yeah, he's going to be a player.
He's a gun.
I just like because he's trying stuff. Like, he's going to make errors. But at least he sort of doesn't put his cue in the rack.
Who does he remind you of, Yongi?
Look, Brett Hodgson.
Brett Hodgson.
Yeah.
But a thicker, bigger. Yeah.
He reminds you of a he's just always at you.
He's a gun. He's
and once he learns the fullback, like this is his first year in first grade. He's played one game last year. Now I think they've got to persevere with him in the sense of you're gonna have errors on him, and you've just got to just say, mate, don't curb your enthusiasm.
Mate, show him the grand final year. The number one out of the whole league for errors was Reece Walsh.
Yep.
So just go for it. Keep pulling the trigger, son.
But don't wear Oakleys, mirrored Oakleys to the game like Reece did.
No.
That backfired.
0457 736 736 is the way to have your say. Parramatta, by the way, they led for the first 25 minutes. Never, ever saw the lead again until Golden Point. Well done. Well done to the blue and gold. Never fold, they say. The Rabbitohs, Brian, 20 defeat the Roosters 14. Wayne Bennett does it again. I can't believe what he's doing. They're 4-1, and only once have they outscored their opponents on the try list.
I know. They just hang in there. The Roosters, this is a game they will rue because you can't, in this day and age, to lose your halves, one half is bad enough. They lost 2 halves, and they were up again. This is 3 weeks in a row. The Roosters were up again in the final quarter of the game and just can't be patient enough. Just kick long, chase, and an error will come.
Yeah,
it was just frustrating to watch. They did all the hard stuff.
Yep.
And they've done it they did it against the Titans, they did it against the Warriors, and they just at the last minute they I don't know what Dom Young was doing. For the life of me.
I know.
For the life of me, how do you go for an intercept when there's a 5-on-5?
Yep.
5-on-5.
I know.
And what was he thinking?
I know. I don't know. Well, he's going to pay the price.
Like he catches the ball. If he just waits there, was it Tass? Yeah, Tass was
just one-on-one.
As soon as he catches the ball, he whacks him into touch and off you go.
Correct.
I don't get it. Like,
so he's going to pay the price.
Latrell threw a 30-metre pass.
Yeah, 5 metres forward.
Oh, well, yeah, it was forward.
Yep.
But it was man on man. Just wait till he catches the ball.
Correct.
Tass couldn't do anything else.
Yeah. The other, it wasn't their night, and it was such a brave performance by the Bunnies, and Wayne Bennett's got them flying.
Yeah.
They're just going wonders. But to twice kick the ball about a metre out from your own goal on a drop out
and get the result.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, the luck was on their side. But
anyway,
they play good. I tell you, Hubner, Lachlan Hubner or Hubner, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yep. He's impressive. Yep. And I can't believe our man, Matt LeBlanc, Liam LeBlanc, the little Frenchman, he never got on. He was 18th man.
Yeah,
Hubner
got 1 Dally M point.
He should. I would have given him 2.
Yep, Jai Gray. What about Jai Gray? He's still flying. Concerns, though, Cody Walker which he doesn't get injured, really. Cody Walker sustained a low-grade hamstring, out for 2 to 3 weeks. Jamie Humphries out to 4 to 5 weeks.
Short to too tight for him.
Michaeli Ravalawa, 6 to 8 weeks, or we would like to say 5 to 7 weeks.
Yeah, give me an odd number. Anyone out for an odd number?
No, that's about
No
it.
one.
No one. The Roosters, though. Oh, hang on. Lindsay Collins out for 3 to 5 weeks.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so that's a concern. As I said, I think Townsend and Dom Young will pay the price. That is the mail, according to Fatima Kadu in the Daily Telegraph. Dolphins 36, Brian, defeat the Titans 10. Dolphins get their first win. It was a bit of a first win Saturday, wasn't it? Eels did the same. Tino, though, he was sent to the bin in the first minute or so of the game.
Yeah, and that was the crackdown, and it basically ruined the first half because as we always say, you cannot play this game with only 12 men.
No.
The momentum of this game, and that was all she wrote. But the Dolphins are very good. I thought Saifidi and Kafusi were brilliant up front, which allowed Katoa all that space, and then allowed him to free up the Hammer. So the Hammer gets his first try. Katoa it's hard to believe he's a 21-year-old kid. But what I liked about it, he was running a lot more.
Yep.
He's he can ball play. He's in the top 4 halfbacks, top 5 halfbacks ball playing wise, but his running game was very good as well. So good signs for the Dolphins. We expected them to sort of have this sort of performance. It's taken them a little bit longer. So Titans quite disappointing considering they've been up for a couple of weeks.
He's a Panther junior. He takes on the Panthers this week, so he'll be looking forward to that now as a bit of a settled-in first grader. Wouldn't the Panthers dearly love to have him back? But just on the sin binning, Brian.
Yeah.
So the average ledger is about 4 points. But my view is, and Vossi talks about the fact that these days, when the sin bin first came out, lots of stoppages, scrums and balls rolling into touch. The ball is in play a lot more now than it used to be. So therefore, 10 minutes in the bin, a lot more action happens in that time than what it used to happen. So therefore, it's a bigger punishment.
Yeah.
What do you think about
5 minutes?
It is 10 minutes, or even 5 minutes, but it is 10 minutes. But if the other team scores on you a try, then you've served your sentence to come back out. Is that enough punishment?
I suppose it depends on the severity of the incident.
For these type of ones, the ones
that one was, again, it was a confusing one because I saw who got belted yesterday. Wishy got absolutely cleaned up.
Yeah.
And got him right around the chops, and it was just a penalty, wasn't a sin bin. So, just as we always say, we just want consistency.
Yep, that's exactly right. So there you go. De Groot looks good, the fullback for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah.
He looks good. 36-10. Desi was funny in the press conference, wasn't he?
I didn't see it.
You haven't seen any of that?
No.
We'll try and get you some of that. We'll try and get you some of that.
Was he as funny as Rolsey when Rolsey was giving away the game plan? Did you see that?
Giving away the game plan?
Oh, mate, it was the best.
What happened?
So he's there talking to a journo, and he goes, so Dylan Walker was playing both sides of the ruck, and that allows Dylan Brown to run a bit. Is that what you're asking? That's what he said, the journo. And then Junior Barlow goes, you're giving away our game plan. And Rolsey goes, oh, yeah, but you saw the game. He was going real in depth in it, just explaining what Dylan Walker's role was.
Okay, here's Desi. Here's Desmond.
This is in no ways a whinge, so don't take it the wrong way. We were well beaten tonight. The first 10 minutes, and it happened to Tino tonight, and I feel for any other side that it might happen to. Like, people pay good money to come and see a game of footy. I just think it just interferes with the integrity of what the game's about.
I love that. I love it. Oh,
he
mate.
certainly beats to a different drum.
We've got great press conferences, like Ricky's wrapping up Todd Smith and Des
how good was
not
that?
wanting to offend anyone.
How good was that? When he wrapped him up and he goes, well, I get in trouble for that now.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff. It is fantastic stuff. Broncos 46 defeat the West Tigers 24. They hung on there. The Broncos only led 14-12 at halftime.
Should not be in the lead. That was fantastic by the Tigers.
Was first half.
Young kids just having a crack.
Chip and chase. How good was that from Renault?
Yeah, little legs.
Little
legs. Munchkin legs. Got
Yep.
there in the end.
Geez, the kick's playing a big part, isn't it? Those little grubbers in that little no man's zone. Cleary
Hunt.
got one. Benny Hunt. Yeah.
Benny Hunt was kicking well.
Xavier Willison got two. Willison got two. Carrigan had a massive game. He scooped up on the Dally M points. Jesse Payne a pitcher.
He
picked up two. Yeah, he's the outright leader now. Good boy. So that was fantastic. And Reece Walsh showing a bit of flair. Stafford Tor's going good. I tell you, okay, start back and for Noah Pole for tries.
Yeah.
Mate, he looks like he's ready to score tries, this kid. You get a prize, or in the next month, have $1 on him each week. I think you're going to go very close on him picking up tries. Anyway, what's gambling really costing you? Chances are you're about to lose. Benji Marshall on his players being put on report. Here's what he had to say.
Benji, what's your take on these players getting put on report? It's just crazy at the moment. The interpretations are varying every single game. I'd be interested to know yours and Appy, what you're thinking, how it's been.
Honestly, I don't know. That's probably the best answer I can give. And also we're on the end of a loss, so probably ask the winning coach. I don't want to sound like a whinger.
Appy, I mean, you've been around this a long time.
Yeah, he's got nothing to say.
Oh, he's got nothing to say.
So Junior's trying to pipe down Rolsey.
Yeah.
And Benji's trying to pipe down Appy. Wonderful stuff.
Your press comment. Are they a waste of time?
No, they're
You don't
great.
like them?
I love them.
Well, they don't sort of tell the truth.
I know they don't. I love them. It's great stuff. Anyway, 1300 01 1170. Ooh, Cowboys 22 defeat the Panthers 18. This game was a cracking game with so many big moments, but they've lost 4 on the trot.
Yeah.
They had won 4 premierships on the trot. Now they've lost 4 on the trot. No wins in Australia this year. So they won in Vegas.
It'll turn around for them. It will turn around for them. Still confident they'll make the 8.
Can they make the 4? So, okay.
I don't know.
So they're giving away...
We didn't have them in our top 4 this year.
No, we didn't.
We had them in our top 8. It's like years gone by. I know people are going to say it's a different team, but they would find a way to win.
Yep.
At the moment, it's just they're close.
Yep.
Very close. They almost got the Chooks.
They did.
They almost got...
They almost got them.
Almost got them. Who was the other game that they almost got? Oh, Melbourne.
Yep.
When it was 30-24. When was it? So they're not far. They're not far away.
No, they're not. And so for them to win the comp, I think they have to make the top 4. Speaking with Luke Prittis in the call the other night, he said Broncos won the comp in 1998. 1999, very tardy out of the gates. End up rattling home late in the season.
Won 16 in a row or something.
Yeah, and then they got to the finals and they were cannon fodder and straight out the back door. So he thinks they've got to make the top 4. I kind of agree. Can they make the top 4? They are 6 points behind the Warriors and the Bunnies. Can they make up that on them?
I don't think they can make the top 4.
But you got to catch the Warriors and the Bunnies at this stage.
Yeah, at this stage. But there's other teams going better than them.
Mm.
The thing is, they're so reliant on Isaiah Yeo and Nathan, which is fair enough. But they don't have that foil. Like remember last year they had they had Luai on the left.
Yeah, but that's why I kind of think Brian, that if they are to do something, and mate, Timmy Manor, he said, because he's watched Blaze Talangi come through the whole way, he said, mate, I don't want to put pressure on him, but he could get to doing what Hayne type of stuff he could do. Oh, wow. He's got that big a rap on him, and I kind of feel like...
Well, they're just trying to get his body right, because I know he had the operation.
Okay.
He had an operation.
But don't you feel like if they are to do something, Talangi's probably there?
Yeah.
No Tot at the moment, no Sorensen at the moment. And
no Edwards.
And no Edwards at the moment. So there's a fair bit out.
So I feel that Ivan's thinking, well, listen, I'm going to make sure everyone is back 100%. So whether Dylan Edwards plays this week or next, I'm not too sure. But I feel like he's sort of thinking, well, we're going to have this season in 2 halves. We're sort of battle away till Origin, because then they're going to lose.
I know. Then they might just start get momentum, and
then Origin comes in. Yeah. So they'll lose at least 3.
Yep.
At least 3, you would think.
Well, at
4,
least 4.
Sorry, 4 with,
at least
with
4.
Martin.
Yep. At least 5. Brian To'o goes straight in.
Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Edwards, To'o, Martin, Cleary, and Yo.
There's your 5. Okay.
And they don't have the same depth. Anyway,
if they make
I'd love to see it.
Laurie might not pick them.
I'd love to see it.
Laurie might say, no, I'm not picking you, Henry Blakes. You're a 1 from 4.
I'd love to see it. By the way, the Cowboys, well done to them.
Jackie Clifford What a game.
What a game.
Nanai, what a game.
Yep.
Reece Robson.
What
and
about
now Drinky.
What about the hit Cohen Hess on Cleary?
What about Drinky doing the head fake?
The head fake.
He's done it twice.
Yeah,
got it.
We got the text here last week from Busso. So Busso's Hall of Fame touchy. He got a text from Drinky because everyone was saying how Savage botched the pass. And Drinky had texted Busso and said, mate, it's the old head fake you taught me.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay.
So it's the head fake, and he's done it again.
Well, he got it on McLean because McLean's he wasn't showing, was he?
No, he wasn't showing. He wasn't showing.
Yeah, they probably should have won that
What
game.
about McLean's chase? That was
that was good.
On Rubber Derby. That was fantastic. Raiders 24. It was a great round of football. Defeat the Sharks 20. 3 wins from 5 games for the Raiders. Sharkies play Manly in Perth this week. It is just about all in for the Sharkies if they're thinking top 4. The Raiders, geez, they're a tough side, aren't they? They've beaten the Broncos at home now and the Sharks.
And the Warriors, that's good form line. They've been the Warriors over there when Warriors are flying.
Yep, over at Vegas.
Over in Vegas.
Mate, they're every chance of playing finals.
Raiders, yeah.
Yeah, every chance.
Yep.
Every chance.
Definitely. They've got some speed to burn.
Who was your man of the match in that game?
My man of the match was the Crispy Chris.
Yeah. Who else would you say? Hudson, yeah. Tarpany was huge.
Yeah, Hudson was good. I don't mind the other back row, Matty Nicholson. He looks so strong.
Adam Fanua-Blake got all 6 points.
All 6?
All 6. Mate, he had a great game. He played for 55 minutes and ran for 200 metres.
All 6?
But I reckon people fall into the stats too much. You've got to have
just watching the game.
You've got to have influence on the game.
Yeah.
Mate, Hudson Young had a day out. Angus Crichton tweeted about him, and he's in competition for a Blues back rower job. Angus Crichton said something like, wow, hasn't Hudson Young had a night out or something like that.
So you're saying we should make the judges put a name to it?
Well, please
so
explain.
we can hammer them.
So 2 different judges have had a player from the losing team.
Yeah. I must admit, I noticed Hudson Young and Seb Chris more than AFB.
Yeah, Tarpany was huge too. He was huge. Just make a rule, just to take the pressure off all of us. And we saw this with the basketball. Just make a rule that it has to go to the winning team. The 3 points have to go to the winning team. An MVP has to go to the winning team. A Clive Churchill medal has to go to the winning team. Just make it simple, don't you think?
Yes. So look, it's A grade. So I got one here from Western Sydney Eagle. Boys, the missus orders Asian food for takeaway every Friday. Thai, Chinese, whatever. When the food turns up, she pulls out chopsticks to eat it. I'm about using the best utensils to get that stuff in my guts with as little fuss as possible, and chopsticks ain't it. I called her a dickhead, and she said it's ridiculous. Who is the dickhead here? The dickhead is, why can't you just use both?
I reckon you can use both.
The idea of chopsticks is to not eat as much, because you're supposed to, and that's when you go to these Asian countries, they're a little bit thinner than a few of us.
So we just jam it into it.
Oh, mate, we just scoff that bastard.
But people like you and I from large families, we're worse.
Yeah,
because food would come out and you just go crack.
If you don't get that lamb cutlet, if you don't get that Devon sandwich, you're not getting anything.
You're not getting anything. By the way, so back onto this MVP. If you want to give it to a losing player, call it the NVE. The NVE, Brian. Not valuable enough.
Yeah.
You couldn't get it done. Not valuable enough.
Well,
not the MVP.
No, there was an NVE, and the only one I can think of, I know we're in 5 rounds, Zach Lomax was the best player on the field when they got beat by...
Oh, when he ran for 30-odd.
300 metres, when he was just jumping.
Yeah, who was that?
Was that the Dogs?
The Dogs. It was the Dogs. It was the Dogs.
Yeah,
anyway, the leader of the Dally M's at the moment, Jai Gray. What a great story. 19 points. He's 5 points clear of Cameron Munster, who's... Bellamy warned us, didn't he, when we caught up with him at the start of the year? He warned us the shape that Cameron Munster was in. Connor Tracy and Payne Haas on his heels as well, so they're having a terrific season as well. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.